Ladies, y'all better stop moving in with these men. So this woman posted this short post in the Am I the A-hole subreddit, and this is absolutely the best response. She says, am I the a-hole for telling my partner he needs to live on his own? You are not the a-hole. That is the correct answer. He does need to live on his own. But let's check out the post. Like I said, it's just a short one. Dude is 40, she's 42. She says, my partner has been staying at my house for the past week. Last night, the topic of living together came up. He said the only fair way to split bills is to go 50-50 on everything. We both earn similar amounts, so fair enough. So I brought up the topic of splitting household jobs. His response was, I'm much slower than you, so I'll do the kitchen. You can handle the rest. Taking 2 hours to clean dishes and a further 2 hours to wipe sides and clean the floor. I suggested he needs to learn to do it faster. His response was, I do it at my pace. I won't be going any quicker. I pointed out that it's not a fair division if I'm paying half the bills and doing 90% of the household jobs. So I suggested I'll do 90% of the household jobs and pay 10% of the bills. He's now complaining that it's not fair and I only want him for his money. I would like to come back and highlight that this dude has been staying at her home for the past week. So obviously she can maintain her own home by herself. His family is telling me he's just a bit slower to do that stuff and I should deal with it. I've now told him that I won't even consider living with him until he's lived on his own for at least a year and can prove he can look after himself. He's never lived independently, always lived with his parents, partner, or housemates. I'm now being called an a-hole because I've said I'm not being used for free labor. Am I the a-hole? You are absolutely not the a-hole. And more women need to opt out of living with these people. They need to live on their own. After a while, this dude is 40. So it sounds like his mom, his parents are trying to kick him out or get him ready to live on his own or with a woman. They're trying to get someone else to take care of him because they are tired of his mess too. They're like, just please accept him, please. But this is where that whole 50-50 conversation falls flat for me every single time. They only want to talk about 50-50 where it comes to finances. They do not want to talk about 50-50 where it comes to splitting up household chores. Why is that? Because they believe that when you live with a woman, that you get a built-in servant. You get a wife appliance or a girlfriend appliance. You get a bang maid and you get an incubator. She might not be an incubator at this particular juncture. She didn't mention anything about wanting kids. But the thing is, you get a wife appliance and a bang maid. That's supposed to come standard with the home. We have got to disabuse these people of the notion that they get a wife appliance or a girlfriend appliance simply because they have a peen and a job. Absolutely not. If this woman can live on her own, and she is putting the terms out there and trying to make it even, trying to make it fair, but they have no sense of fairness because it has been bred into them that they are demigods and they're supposed to be served. That's the reason why I say we need to disabuse them of that notion. The mom to wife pipeline needs to continue to dry up. Make these men juggle their own nuts. Make them hold their own nuts and make them learn how to adult. If their parents didn't teach them how to properly adult, life will teach them, but it is not your job to parent a grown man. PCC Fridal says, wow, his family must have been frothing at the idea of dropping this human potato on you. Not the a-hole, of course. Miss McCullough was like, that's the real deal. The family thinks they're finally getting rid of this drain. Like, please take him, please. He's good. Link Glittering says, I love this take. Dude is the definition of weaponized incompetence. OP run. The amount of chores he does now is the most he will ever do. My bet is his plan, whether he knows it or not, is to slowly do less and less while letting you take over due to necessity. He said you want him for his money because he actually wants you for your housekeeping. And I think his family is on his side because they enabled this behavior. I've seen it a million times. His mom did all his chores because she was raised in a different era, and she thinks it's normal. It's not normal anymore. I would reconsider trying to make it work with someone who does not realize they are shunting their responsibilities to you as a matter of sexism. Even if he doesn't realize it, don't adopt a man-child. You deserve a partner. You might need to mold and fix this one up if that's what you want. No, they are not clay, and you are not an artist. You're not a clay maker or whatever pottery person. You're not any of that. You're not doing that for adult men. You are not raising adult men. If they were not finished, they need to go to the Google. They need to go to the YouTube University. They need to go ask their mama or daddy, how do I do such and such and such and such? I'm sure there's a book or something that they could do to learn how to properly adult. No more raising men. Talihar says, Mom said if you don't like everything about him, don't marry him. You will never change him. Link says, I've also heard the best it will ever be is the first year. Don't expect more from someone who has shown you who has shown you who they are. Okay, Passage says, this is what every woman's response should be when a man tries to move in with her and take over her space, not the a-hole. Heavy Ad says, not the a-hole. 4 hours to clean a kitchen and do no other chores is weaponized incompetence. If he can't pay 50-50 and do 50-50 on chores, do not live with him. No one needs to take care of a grown-up child. Green Understanding says, and there is a third option here. If he sucks so much at basic household tasks, he can hire out for his half. Problem solved. But he is not looking to be fair. He is looking to profit off of OP's labor. And that is precisely it. If you don't want to do the work, okay, cool. What are you going to do about it? Because you are living here, so you have a responsibility to clean and cook. So how are you going to get that done if you don't do it yourself? Are you going to outsource it? What is your game plan? If the game plan is to allow you, the woman, to be the servant, the answer is absolutely not. Historical Prune says he doesn't want a partner. He wants a maid he can split writ with. Lanky Particular says that's why he's 40 years old and still living with his parents. OP, he is never going to change. Sorry. Feral Cat says maybe his mommy could come over and do his share. And then this person at the bottom says, you mean his daddy. Let's stop assigning housework to women. Amen. High five. Lanky Particular says, daddy will scoff and say it's mommy's work. And then that guy Malcolm says, nah, daddy is probably slower. Cashew Beans says, daddy likely has never held a dish detergent bottle in his life. Canadian says, mommy was the one that bred the incompetence. She should enjoy the fruits of her labor. But we all know that women like this are a product of the patriarchy. They really did believe that women were supposed to be the mommy, wives, caretakers, all of that. There's a new set of women out here, and we're saying absolutely not. And so we've been saying that for a while. The fact that they haven't adapted is beyond me, but that's the reason why these dudes, they're going to have a hard time, because women are seeing this and they are walking away from relationships. They're saying no to shacking up, and I am totally here for it. I will keep on reporting these things just as a reminder. Do not live with them. Do not live with them. Do not live with them. I'll end with this one. Puzzle Putt says, talk about weaponized incompetence. OP, don't let your partner sway you on this. If he wants to take 8 hours to his day doing half the chores, then as an adult, he is making that choice. Or he can hire someone to do his chores for him. But if bills are split 50%, so are chores. He is a functioning adult. He can figure this out without your help. Do not let him weaponize his own incompetence to steamroll you into doing more. We're going to continue to say that. Don't move in with him. Don't move in with these people. Use Your Smart says he is not a functioning adult. That's the whole problem. But it's not her problem. This is not this woman's problem. Absolutely not. Join the conversation, y'all. Share this with young women. Talk to your teenage girls. Tell them absolutely not. Tell them how these people will attach to you and suck your life force. Don't let them. Let's not give up our life force to these people. Make them hold their own nuts. Join the conversation, like, comment, and share.